of space, building a homestead at our own pace. Welcome to Junktojems, where the work never ends. Off-grid living with our family and friends. We got houseboats to build and tractors to mend. Join the journey, let the adventure begin.
Good morning. Well, guess what? I didn't get the bush hog hooked up last night. So I'm about to go out here and get it now in just a minute. I gotta move Bertha out of the way, and I gotta bring tow truck over here and let me show you here. So I gotta get Bertha out of the way and bring tow truck over here and smooth this out real quick right here. And we gotta get these two trees out of the way, and then come through here and get the rest of this out of the way, so I can get to the bush hog. I'm gonna see how it goes with it. I might just pick it up with Bertha real quick and bring it out here where I can get to it, but I think that might be easier. But then we're gonna do this over here. Let me show you real quick. So we got some barbed wire rolled up over there by that piece of foam, and the reason that piece of foam is sitting there is to cover up some of the barbed wire there for right now, so it don't get tangled up in anything, and nobody runs over it and gets tangled up in it, because you can't see it unless you're right on it. So we're gonna get that out of there, and we're gonna see about getting ready for some fence down through here and putting some gates up here. I still got to find a couple of posts for right here, for the gates to hang off of, but I'll figure that out here real soon, what I'm gonna do. But I want to get the rest of that up in there and get the fence up, at least for now. And but I don't know if I'm gonna get to the fence today or not, because there's a lot to do over there. Plus I got to mow these ditches down and all that kind of stuff. So let me see if I can get Bertha back there to get the bush hog loaded up and get it moved out of the way so I can get up in here, and we'll go from there. So I'll bring you back.
We packed our dreams, left the sunshine behind. Now Arkansas calls, where the land's untamed and wild. Gary, Mary, Mary, we're carving out of space, building a homestead at our own pace. Welcome to Junktojems, where the work never ends. Off-grid living with our family and friends. We got houseboats to build and tractors to mend. Join the journey, let the adventure begin. From the four-wheelers we're fixing to tiny house dreams. Every day's a challenge, but it's sweeter than it seems. Downsizing our life, but living more free. Come along, share this life with me. Welcome to Junktojems, where the work never ends. Off-grid living with our family and friends. We got houseboats to build and tractors to mend. Join the journey, let the adventure begin. From the live chats, we'll tell you what's new, sharing our progress and projects with you. From Florida's coast to Arkansas hills, we're chasing freedom and chasing thrills. Welcome to Junktojems, where the work never ends. Off-grid living with our family and friends. We got houseboats to build and tractors to mend. Join the journey, let the adventure begin. Like, subscribe, and share. It's all for free. Together we'll build this homestead dream. Junktojems Homestead, where we live off the land. With hard work and heart, we'll make our stand. From the four-wheelers we're fixing to tiny house dreams. Every day's a challenge, but it's sweeter than it seems. Downsizing our life, but living more free. Come along, share this life with me. Welcome to Junktojems, where the work never ends. Off-grid living with our family and friends. We got houseboats to build and tractors to mend. Join the journey, let the adventure begin. In the live chats, we'll tell you what's new. Sharing our progress and projects with you. From Florida's coast to Arkansas hills, we're chasing freedom and chasing thrills.
All right, well, got her hooked up after a few years of setting. She did pretty good. Old bush hog's still running good. And I do remember I took care of the blades before I left Florida, so you see I walked the path down through there. I can't get off in that ditch too deep right now because it's still too soft. But I did go down both sides of the road here, all the way up to where our fence is going. And again, like I was telling you earlier about this barbed wire, I got all this in here, so I gotta figure out some way to grab a hold of it and drag it out of here. I don't care if it's 100 years old or not, it's still sharp. But there's a bunch of it up in there, so I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. I'll figure it out though in just a minute. But yeah, I want to get over here and get this cleared out and smoothed out, and so this way we can get in here and start putting some fence along here, so we can keep the escapees when we let them run, because that's what they all want to do. Whenever they decide all three of them are out together, they run for this driveway right here, and then they take off and go down the road towards David's. So figured if we put the fence up along here and the gates here, that that'll deter them from their escape route, because this is where they always escape. So maybe if we do things a little different this time, but maybe that'll solve some of that problem. I guess we'll find out soon. If not, we'll fence off a good section of the property, and you know, a little at a time until they got a whole fenced in yard and we don't have to worry about them no more. So anyway, let's get to that. At least now we know the bush hog's working good, and see what else we can get done, at least till it dries up enough so I can get over there to the shop. So all right, see you short. All right, well, howdy y'all. Well, you know, I got back, had to work on, I was going to work on getting the shop ready over there. But by the time I got back from Walmart, doing all that stuff, and then you know, the potato salad, no potato salad. Well, at least not the kind we wanted anyway. This is it was pretty hot. So I got Bertha out, and I got some fence line cleared out there, getting ready so we can put some gates up here in our driveway. You know, help keep the dogs out, or dogs in, should I say, when we let them run loose. We want to get those gates up so that we can keep all three of them together. So when all three of them go out, we can let them all out at the same time and not have to worry about separating them. You know, because Smokey, unfortunately Smokey, he likes to just he likes to get the girls in trouble, basically. If he's out here by himself, he's fine. Girls are out here by themselves, they're fine. But you get all three of them together, Smokey likes to take them and run them down the road. So we don't do that no more. So that's why I'm trying to get the fence and the gates up there. But anyway, that's what I ended up doing. Then I ended up taking our little bubble hot tub over here and pressure washing it. Figured, you know, it's super hot, I'm in the dead sun. Let's go ahead and get that done and get it ready, because I'd like to get it set up here soon. So right now I'm sitting underneath the pergola, and you know, a bunch of the comments that were left about the pergola getting done with the rock. So I've pondered on that quite a bit, about how to do this by myself and make this happen. So it's basically coming down to I'm gonna have to just jack it up myself, run my string lines, and then I guess try to find some soft dirt somewhere and shovel it in here by hand underneath these pads and get it raised up that way. It looks like that's probably my only option here really at this point. So I've got my extra tall jacks. I can just get some bricks and get me some concrete bricks and just stand them up here and get it lifted up with those jacks. I should be able to do it by myself, so I'm going to start working on that real soon. I know I got about 50 projects going here at once, and it's hard to finish one at each one. And somebody even said something about, well, you can't just keep blaming it on the weather. Well, yes I can, and it's my channel and it's my prerogative. So, you know, I get to it when I get to it. You know, I am 60 years old, so you know, my energy level is not what it used to be. You know, I do what I can when I can, and I do as much as I can when I can. So sometimes, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, that level of energy to do a certain project, I basically have to pick my projects around that, you know, and temperature and weather and all that. All those are all factors in, you know, how I do things. You know, if this was 20 years ago, that'd be a whole different story. I'd get on something, and also if I had lots of money, I'd get on something and just go with it. You know, we went from making some really good money in Florida, y'all, to we don't make that kind of money no more. So we don't have lots of money to go spending on all the projects like, you know, a lot of other channels do. You know, we do what we can with what we have, and sometimes projects that don't get finished right away, they get started but not finished right away, we run into issues of not having the stuff to finish it. So, you know, I just do what I can when I can with what I have. But anyway, enough of that negative stuff. Yeah, I figured out, like I said, I figured out a way to make this happen, I think. I've got a nice laser level and some string line levels, and I've got some string in there, so I found me some old rebar that I'm gonna use for my stakes, and I'm just gonna stake this all out and get it leveled, and then I'm gonna bring all my concrete pads up to level, and then I'm gonna start setting these things, whether I got sand or not. You know, it is what it is. And I've seen a couple of cool ideas on YouTube. Imagine that, YouTube University. So seen a couple of cool ideas on YouTube about when I lay these rocks out, is to take LED lights, you know, the waterproof LED lights, and string them in between the rocks, you know, and put them all together in between the flagstone in there. So I think it'll look pretty cool. So you know, that's something I might do. So when I set these in here, I'm going to try to set these in such a way that I can do that, you know. And I think that'll be very cool. Then I'll just have to get some of those, like the one guy said, that you can buy these clear pebbles online on Amazon. And from what I understand, they're not real expensive. So, you know, maybe at some point I'll do that. I'll get those lights and we'll do that. And, you know, I can probably even get the solar powered ones so they can just run on a solar up here. You know, so I think that would be even cooler yet. But anyway, getting back to what else I was doing. We're hoping to have a decent 4th of July. Back to Good's going to come over and join us tomorrow. Everybody else is at Freedom Weekend. Unfortunately for us, taking off with at a long period of time with 3 dogs is sometimes you know, just not that kosher, you know. And our dogs are, you know, at that point now where they're pretty good by themselves, you know, for the most part. But now that we've got the fence all tightened up to where they can't escape, it's still, I don't know, just leaving them for 3 days like that, I don't know, we just ain't into it, you know. That, and I'm, you know, I'm not a super social person outside of my home anyway. Like being around a lot of people, I don't know, just being around a lot of people, I don't know, I get a little antsy, you know. And so I just I don't know, maybe I make an excuse to avoid that at times, but on the same note, I'm kind of a homebody, and you know, I don't mind being a homebody. And you know, and I don't have to have a lot of people around me all the time. And I know people are like that, you know, they like a lot of people, like they enjoy the whole bar scene and being around the whole big crowds and having a good time and stuff like that. I have a good time just chilling, and you know, I don't have to have loud music and fun and dancing and all that kind of stuff to keep me on my chill side. Sometimes I just take a day and I just do whatever I want to, you know. And I sit back and relax, and I'll play with the dogs a little bit, or I'll go for a ride on the four-wheeler, or you know, or I'll get in the backhoe and just tinker around with dirt. To me, that's therapy, and it's good therapy. It keeps my brain kind of chilled there. And if you're a veteran, some veterans don't have to have that. Some veterans we need that. So it is what it is, you know. And I just keep going, doing what I can. I did get the rest of the parts, most of the parts for the air tanks. So I might even work on that later. I don't know yet. Just all depends. I mean, little stuff like that. To me, that's tinkering. And I kind of like to tinker sometimes when it's right not in the dead sun and super hot. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the heat. I'm not complaining about the sun. I am more than happy to take those over the rain and the mud any day. So now that we've had so much rain and mud, dirt's starting to dry out. So I'll be able to start leveling some of the dirt that I've moved around here now, and do that, you know. So if you go check out Mary and Miley's adventures there, you know, they're going over and helping Come On and taking care of his animals while he's gone. You know, David's at the Freedom Weekend, and Mike and Lissa and all them, they went to Freedom Weekend. And I guess Back to Good's gonna take care of their animals, and you know, and again, people, yeah, they would probably take care of our animals too and our dogs, but for us, a 5-hour ride is just, you know, if it was here, that'd be different, you know, to where we could come home every night. I'm not into camping. I don't. My body is not suited for sleeping right way anymore, you know. I did enough of that in the military, sleeping in trucks, plus driving a semi-truck. You know, you don't have the most comfortable bed in a semi-truck, and my body is just not up to sleeping in a tent or on a cot or on whatever, you know. I will if I have to, but if I don't have to, I'm not going to. It's just the way it is, you know. I don't mind doing just being here, you know. 4th of July is a pretty special occasion. A lot of people use that to you know, to have a party, and I get that. I got no issues with that whatsoever. I say more power to you. And if the party was close enough where I could come home and hit my own bed at night, I'm down for that. I'll go and hang out for a few hours, but for the most part, you know, I like being at home. So that's what's going on there. And somebody also made a comment. Let's go back to that for a second. Somebody made a comment about that trailer door being open. Yes, that trailer door was like that when I bought that trailer, and you know what? I'm not worried about it. Really not. It's not like I plan on selling the trailer anytime soon. I am going to take that plywood off of there eventually anyway, but that trailer door was pretty bad anyway, way back when, okay, when I first got it. So that's why I don't stress having it open like that. And it's tilted, the trailer is tilted backwards, so no water goes up in there, up inside of it, and does anything to my floor. It's just the door itself. And it's actually 3 sheets of plywood thick on there anyway, so that door is like super extra heavy. The guy I bought it from was originally trying to put a race car in it because he races the local circuit, and then he found out that it wasn't going to fit. So he just, you know, he built that door like that and everything like that. And then the guy that had it before him, he used it as a go-kart trailer, go-kart racing trailer. So I just wanted it for a tool trailer. That's back when I was working on heavy equipment and stuff like that on a regular basis. And you know, I just thought, you know what, well, let's go ahead and get this. But again, I plan on taking that door off of there, and maybe at some point I'll clean it all out and set it over there by the shop, and I'll do something with it then. But until then, I'm not worried about that door. Like I said, that door was already rough when I got it, and it's been like that for a long time, and it's not hurting anything. You know, the outside is metal. It's all aluminum frame. It's not gonna hurt it, you know. I'll take that plywood up eventually, and I'll put some new stuff down eventually, and then I'll close that door up, and it probably won't open again for years. Who knows? But anyway, it's all good. And then I got that piece I put on the roof over there, on the lean-to roof. I got to figure out a way to get that up there and hold it up there. I really need some 12-foot boards, but you know, that'll come in time too. But at least it's sitting up there, and it's giving me a little overhang right now as far as shade goes. So I thought, you know what, might just leave it like that, and just let it sit right there for right now. At least I'm getting some, it's diverting some more water away from all of that. So it is what it, you know, I can live with it for right now. And eventually, you know, I will build that all out to where it's nice. I did what I had to do with what I had again, you know, and it's good enough for now, you know. Not one of them, I guess I'm just not one of them bougie people. I don't have to have all the finer things in life all the time to make me happy. Hence Junktojems, you know. I like tinkering with stuff like that, and if I don't finish it right away, okay, you know, I'm not stressing it. I'll finish it when I get enough materials, you know. That whole porch in Florida, I built all that out of scrap over years, you know, about 6-7 years it took me to build all that. So we've been here a year on this property, and I think we've accomplished quite a bit. So yeah, if there's quite a few projects that aren't quite finished yet, they will get finished, you know. It's just what it is, you know. Again, Junktojems. I'm going to try to collect materials as I go. Unfortunately, I don't know that many people up here right now. And you know, like I did in Florida, and I wasn't doing construction on a regular basis like I am in Florida, or I'm not doing construction anymore. So you know, down in Florida, I would get extra materials off jobs all the time, and constantly moving around to, you know, different people's houses, and people ask me to get rid of stuff. Oh yeah, you know what, I can use that. Well, like I said, I built that whole 20 by 40 porch down there, you know, for next to nothing. And you know, windows included, AC, whole 9 yards, you know. And it took me about 7 years, but you know what, it was a really nice porch. And if it takes me 5 or 6 years to get all my projects done around here, to that point, it'll probably never have all of my projects completed, because who knows, I may be dead before then, you know. I don't know, you know. I don't know if I'm gonna live till I'm 100 or not, you know. And even then, if I make it to 90, I ain't gonna want to be out there doing anything anyway. I'm gonna be wanting to sit in my recliner chair and watching YouTube and and complaining about somebody else's stuff. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It is, like I said, it is that, just that in life, you know. So do me a favor. You know, I appreciate everybody that backed me up on the not wearing a shirt thing. No, it's a country thing, and if you're offended by somebody not wearing a shirt, well, then maybe you shouldn't watch YouTube or watch TV at all, because I see a lot of them out there that are not wearing shirts, and TV, you know, guys sporting in their underwear, girls in their underwear. If that offends you, then, you know, maybe you're the problem and not the rest of the world. So, you know, take care of that. Work on you, you know. And I'm sorry if it offends you, but, you know, I'm not sorry at the same time. This is America. That's what it's all about. And this happens to be that freedom that we have to do that. And if that, like I said, if that bothers you that bad, well, then go watch somebody else's channel. I don't care. You know, I do this to hopefully help a lot of people, and maybe teach somebody something along the way, and motivate somebody to do something different in their life, or motivate them to chase their dream. And you know, I'm hoping that you'll stay with us and watch us and be happy, and embrace our choices, or you cannot. You know, I can't force you to do anything. This is America. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to, whenever you want to. And so do that, all right? But don't go out and be putting somebody down and giving somebody a hard time just to make yourself feel better, okay? That ain't right. I don't care who you are, where you come from. That ain't right. Plain and simple. I don't go around putting people down just because I can, you know? And I damn sure ain't going around there putting anybody down to make myself feel better. I feel fine by myself. So if you have that big of an issue with somebody doing something you don't like on YouTube, don't watch, or keep it to yourself, or work on yourself. You know, the whole point of life is, if y'all haven't, you know, if any of you haven't gotten it yet, is to help lift each other up. And if you have any kind of moral values, lift each other up, you know. And that's what I'd like to say, that's what a lot of Junktojems is about, is helping people. You know, I want to motivate somebody to do something great. I want to help lift you up and make you feel better about yourself, and maybe get you out of that chair to go do something different, and you know, and make a change in your life. Too many people go through the world with blinders on, and they only see that world to which they were born. They can't see outside that, you know. That's why they put them things on horses, so that they can only see straight ahead and not see outside the box. And don't do that with your life. Get out there and make something happen. Be happy, you know. Get up every morning and make a choice to be happy. So enough of that ranting right there. I think I'm gonna let that go at this point, but you get the point now. And but again, please just do that. So I guess tomorrow we're gonna try to go live and out here for a little while. Like I said, Back to Good's gonna come over here and join us. We might get Big Joe. I sent a message to Jeff over there to see if he wants to come over, and who knows, you know, might just be us. Who knows? But either way, we're gonna throw some ribs on the grill, and hopefully we can get out here and enjoy floating around in the pool a little bit, and just take a relaxing day and appreciate this day for what our forefathers gave us. And in the meantime, oh look here, wait. In the meantime, I got a guest sneaking up on me. We're gonna call her Neeker. You know why we call her Neeker? Because she's sneaking up on me. Come here, Neeker. Come here. AKA Shorty. Huh? Are you done out there riding?
I'm about to go
working?
ride.
You're about to go ride?
So I don't get tired, hot, so I can go clean the pool.
Ah, she's gonna get hot so she can get clean the pool. That works. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go today on that note. And she's gonna go out here and get on her bike and have some fun. And I will see you all in a short. I'm gonna get in here and get this video edited for you for today. And like I said, be nice to somebody. Go lift somebody up. Go make it a point to make someone happy, make someone else's day a little bit better. You never know, it might make you happy too. So in the meantime, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends, come see us at Junktojems, because you never know what kind of junk we might turn into a gem. And that may even be you. See you soon.